So research the subtle energy systems that are available out there. Ask about the different types of teachings. If there's different energies or meditations associated with them, you can try them out. You can ask for a person to run the energy on you. And when it comes to doing the meditation, which is the most important part of spiritual advancement that anyone can do, you'll find that there are different energies that come in with those meditations. Even the Lord's Prayer was a mantra or meditation to be repeated over and over again. So we want to make the most efficient use of that time that we put into our meditation. We want to make the best use of the effort we put into it. So to do that, it's valuable to get attunements, which are just like a person bringing cable TV into the top of your head and giving you different frequencies of energy. You then access those energies when you do the meditations, and the meditation becomes much stronger and much deeper. And the different types of meditations, some may be very blissful, some may be very transcending, and some may be very grounding. It depends on what your needs are. Many people in our culture are in their head and have to have grounding energies to help them center and bring the energy down into the lower chakras. Part of doing these subtle energies includes what is called the laying on of hands, or running the energy. And this can be very associated with past fundamental systems, and people in the United States are very unaware of them or very uneducated about them because it's been kept out of our culture. You go to other lands, other countries where these people are very happy, you find that they are willing to go to these healers and work with those energies to deal with their childhood traumas, childhood issues, things that have happened to them in their life physically, emotionally, and mentally, to help cleanse and purify, and therefore make further progress on the spiritual path more easily. You can work more on the roots of problems, more directly on the suppressed emotions and subconscious problems that we carry around that sometimes affect our lives in ways that we don't even know. Oftentimes these problems that Freud and Wilhelm Reich described as being suppressed emotional events that create neurotic behavior can be cleared out and reduced over time with the different subtle energy systems. So there was a lot more to just physical healing, but personal, deep, subconscious healing on a level that would parallel with your spiritual advancement. You can take a lot of different types of classes out there. There are a lot of different attunements from organizations that are not spiritually or religiously locked into one system. One of the reasons for teaching esoteric spirituality, which is what my life's passion is to bring people into that without forcing them to take a particular pathway. I prefer not to dictate what someone else is going to do in their spiritual path, because I wouldn't want that to be done to me. It's up to the individual to really look out and see the world through their own eyes and understand what is important and valuable to them more than just being part of the crowd. And that's not to say that you can't take these energies, these subtle energy systems, out and use them with your friends and groups, because that's always a recommended thing, as the group energy really amplifies the value of all meditation and prayer and energy work done by the group. Oftentimes we want to externalize our troubles and externalize the problems in our lives, saying that there's something out there that's the trouble, and a lot of times we don't want to accept that there's problems wrong with sometimes that work can be accelerated and very much added to by using these subtle energy systems to do subconscious cleansing, mental clearing, brain clearing, and pulling different negative energies and thought forms out, and helping us to heal the wounds that we've oftentimes suffered from those who have raised us. Oftentimes we work for advice and pay professionals all over the place to tell us what to do, where to go, how do I do this, where do I get that. But some of the most important answers and the guidance in our lives is really going to come from a part of us that most of us have been missing for all of our lives. To connect up with what's called your soul or your higher self, or what is also called the guardian angel, is perhaps a third of our being. And to bring in the soul and connect it with our personality is really one of the most important things that was ever taught and is still taught today by mystery schools, whether it's Egyptian or Tibetan or others from all over the world. One common thing is to work on communicating with your higher self, or communicating with your soul and bringing your soul in. That's a particularly valuable key to spiritual advancement, is working on a daily basis, asking questions and working with your own higher self for answers, for guidance, for finding the way when we're not sure where to go or what to do. To work on your higher self, with your higher self, on communication with it, is really a very valuable thing that I can't stress more. You can try on a daily basis to ask questions, and there's usually a certain pattern of movement that can take months and years, but it's well worth it, because we oftentimes have questions about our lives that we're having a hard time deciding, and our higher self can really provide a lot of information and a lot of help. Some people call it pure intuition when you get a bit of information to go out and do something, and you find that that was one of the most important things that you could do in that day, that week, or that year. Part of that is the higher self communicating with us. An important aspect of that, which people in the Western cultures don't always know about, is what's called the connection, the antakarana, and working through the lower self to our middle self or conscious self is how the higher self communicates. This is why it's not an easy path. Most people think, well, the higher self wants to tell me something, they'll tell me, well, it has to come through the lower self. So the more that you clean house of your subconscious issues, the more easy it is for the higher self to communicate to you and give you guidance on a regular basis. A big key is to get attunements to help with that, and to do the work on a daily basis. Even if it doesn't seem like something's important to ask your higher self, start asking questions today, and ask more tomorrow and more the next day. And be patient with it, because you may not get the answers you want to hear, and you may hear what you want to hear more than what the higher self is putting out. And over time you will overcome all of that, and the higher self will give you much more valuable information than most any of the paid professionals you've dealt with